Nobody can touch me because I would get blacklisted for that.
The persona in the front that we put forward into the universe.
You'd be standing and...
Hi, I'm Gabi. Because I will miss that aspect.
Something else. Yeah.
You're people, you're not creatures. I'm so sorry. I don't care if you hate me.
No. Tissue paper.
I dated a lot of Sagittarius men, and that just was not working.
Girls love her, boys love her.
And those connections and ideas change. 5% of podcasts don't make it past the first year. And we're back with the Z-list celebrities to end off 2023. And you guys might recognize this dude over here if you're watching. If you aren't watching, hear the voice and see if you can guess who it is.
I was told to sit here and just do what I'm told. So.
That could be no other than Kyle, my fiance. We're back.
We're back.
And we decided we wanted to end 2023 in the Z-list, episodes here this month with a kind of a recap of our year, talking about all the things we've done. You guys actually asked a ton of questions on Instagram that you want Kyle to answer. So we're going to do that. We're having a little drink. Tell them what's in your cup before we get started.
I have some Jefferson's bourbon.
Is that special?
Sort of special.
Okay.
It's tasty.
A little yummy.
And a big ice cube. One ice cube. I can't see it. Sort of.
Well, it is what it is. You don't need to see the ice cube. Most people listen here. They don't watch. Oh. Okay.
Very nice.
Kyle's nutty. I'm drinking Nightjar wine from Cooper's Hawk. I feel like I see a little bit piece of cork in there, which is a little upsetting, but it's real good. What is it a mix of? Is it brandy?
I'm not sure. It's 18% alcohol.
Something wild. So we're going to have a good time, right? So grab your drinks if you're listening at night, not if you're driving a vehicle. I'm talking to you, Steph. But yeah, let's get started. Steph likes to listen while she drives.
Call out on the air.
I can.
Don't drink and drive, Steph.
I can and I will. And I'll know if she listened to this episode because she'll immediately text me and be like, hey, you talked about me.
Yeah.
We love stuff. Anyways, let's just honestly start off on a high note because, I'm good news, bad news kind of person. Like, good news first, bad news next.
You got to sandwich it.
Oh, so good news, bad news, good news?
Yeah.
We could do that. Okay.
Leadership 101.
Leadership. Kyle's such a leader.
Brag, drag, brag. Come on.
Here we go. What was the highlight of your year this year? 2023. I'll let you think on that. You take a minute.
Job transition.
Job transition was your highlight?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, I got to stay home.
Yeah, you did get to stay home.
Spent a lot of time in Tampa this year.
You did. Well, starting June. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good.
That's a half a year mark stretch right there.
That's three times the amount of time I spent in Tampa.
With that job transition, have you had any challenges or feel like that you've kind of almost missed an old version of you? Are you really liking this new version of you? Tell us about your job transition.
Yeah. Huge change of environment. I learned that I'm not very good at customer service. I wasn't really nice, I guess, at first. So that was
learning to deal with that. That's
bit
definitely
of a learning curve. Yeah,
that's been a hiccup. I feel like I think that you're not meant for customer service. So I'm very curious to see how 2024 drives you and where you go with it because I feel like it definitely makes you more grumpy when you get home too.
But yeah, I got to take it out with somebody.
Oh, and I'm the best option.
No, it's Blue.
Oh, it's Blue's the best option. Blue is sitting right next to us. She is covering her face with her hands. She is tired of listening to our stupid voices, and she just wants to be FED. But that's not happening right now. So, anyways, your job transition. FED.
That works.
Did. Feed.
That'll do.
Yeah, so customer service, I think that's been an interesting transition for you. For those
Just
of you...
Customer service in the aspect of... some people are really
hard to deal with.
silly, and they ask silly things, and then you can't act like they just asked a silly thing.
I feel like Kyle doesn't like stupidity.
Well, yesterday, somebody asked if they could plug up the standing shower and make it a bath.
No, they didn't.
It's a standing shower, I mean.
Wait, why am I just hearing about this right now?
Because it's not special anymore. That's almost every day, something like that. They asked if they could make the shower a bath, and how do you How do you?
What did you say?
You can't even say no to that because it's like, good luck. I want to see this. Yeah, clog the drain and see what happens, brother. I don't know what to tell
Then
you.
you gotta charge him for it. For some background, what Kyle is currently doing now, Kyle left his job in Iraq, private contracting, which you guys kind of know about from some past episodes, to start working for a company that manages Airbnb properties. Mm-hmm. So Kyle heads up the department in Florida for Airbnbs, and it's been an interesting ride because it's definitely, like he said, he gets to work from home. He has an office, but like he has the flexibility to move around and do as he pleases. But that also comes with the same issue that I feel like I encounter. I feel like we both have similar job timelines in the sense that, okay, yeah, you and I might take a Tuesday and go grocery shopping, but on Sunday night you get a call at 9 p.m. and you've got to be doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I feel like my job is very similar in the sense that I could batch everything I want to do on Sunday night, but take my Monday off. And I've said that recently on Instagram, that one of my favorite things is that I usually pick my weekends to be a weekday versus actually the weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of my shoots are on weekends these days when I'm doing photography stuff. Depending on events, my weekends are taken up. So we've both kind of transitioned to picking our own days off, but with that comes like working really inconvenient hours.
Yeah, most of our stuff happens on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Tuesday is usually the day that
I usually
pick,
yeah. I feel like I pick a Tuesday or Wednesday and I'm like, no one talked to me, and that's my like chill day. But I think that's kind of been the hardest adjustment for me with you being home and working that job, is figuring out what a schedule looks like, because it kind of is different every week.
Yeah, because you're used to me being like, and me too. It was a big curb because when I was home, I was on vacation mode.
Yeah,
it was just like, hey, let's go and do whatever, because I have no obligations here.
Which I'm glad that's over. It's not that I didn't love that we got to like do more fun things together, but I'm glad that's over because it would throw me off, because what would happen is you'd come home for a month
and
I would
also be in vacation.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's not okay. Like I would just take a month off and then work really, really hard for 3 or 4 months, which is fine, great system, but like it threw me back a lot.
Yeah.
So we've exited out of that era. Has it been hard for you to transition from being back from Iraq and like that kind of career field? Do you miss the energy and the excitement of it?
Completely different worlds. Some things I miss, some things I don't. The human aspect of it's all the same. Like you're not immune to dumb questions in anything. Mm-hmm. There's always somebody who's struggling to to make it make sense. So,
do you miss the action though?
Yeah, of course. It's fun.
It's fun.
It's a good time.
Being shot at's fun.
No.
I'll never understand that, but yeah, I think you coming back from Iraq was a big highlight. For me, honestly, a lot of my highlights had to do surrounding, they're highlights and pain points actually. It's both. Mm-hmm. It's been around the wedding year. A lot of highlights in the fact that I've gotten to spend time with, that face already, making faces at me. I got to spend a lot of time with my girlfriends all together, which I never get to do. Like I usually see everybody that's in our wedding party, or at least my bridesmaid side. I see each one of them at least once or twice a year. Like it's not like I go without seeing them, but having them all together, especially like my bridal shower, was so fun. Right. Nobody was missing from that. It was just great. And like even like my bachelorette trip, like so fun in the sense that like watching your friends come together is a very unique experience. It's also pain points, but it's also great. You know, it has its really big highs and its really big lows. Wedding planning itself is kind of a pain point. I'm capped out, as Kyle's well aware. Mm-hmm. I've reached my breaking point. We are 2 weeks out from the wedding as of today when this goes up. So yeah, 2 weeks out, 14 days, a little crazy. So I'm a little nutty right now, but I feel like I've been nutty for the last 2 weeks or 2 months.
Is nutty a nice way to say mean to me?
I am not mean to you. Kyle's not very helpful. We've got the liquor flowing. Are we just going to roast each other now?
I bought so much booze today that I'm surprised that my credit card isn't flagged for buying only booze.
You do look like an alcoholic, but that's only because Kyle decided to leave that errand that he had to do until literally today. He's had 3 weeks. He left it.
Whatever.
Till today. So
I sent emails 2 weeks ago.
He sent emails in hopes that maybe they would send us free wine. Didn't work. Didn't pan out.
Come on. Give me a couple bottles.
He did. I do appreciate the proactiveness in that he did email all of them to see if we could get them free, and is now he's now procrastinated in actually purchasing them. But minus that, he's really had no tasks. His life has been easy.
Where'd that roll of stamps go? It's like the third roll of those things.
Yeah, we did go through a lot of stamps, and Kyle's only job thus far is to buy the stamps.
Yeah, it's a big job.
Guys, please tell him in the comments how ridiculous he is.
I wrote some very personalized save the dates to some big box brands.
That's been our project, like our end of the year project. That's been kind of fun. When we watch Grey's Anatomy, we write notes to big companies. I saw somebody else do it for a baby shower, and we're like, fuck it, we're going to do it. It's all over TikTok too. But we've been writing notes to companies on our save the dates, inviting them, quote unquote, to our wedding.
Right.
And hoping they send us PR packages. We haven't gotten one yet, but we only started that last week.
Yeah.
That's a new...
It's too soon to tell.
It's too soon to tell. I saw a video on TikTok today while I was scrolling though, and it was a PR box from Chick-fil-A of somebody that's selling to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I mean...
Apparently Chick-fil-A is really good at them.
Did you write the Chick-fil-A one, or did I write the Chick-fil-A?
I think you did, because you said something about, I buy Gabi a chicken sandwich twice a week.
Yeah, and I closed it out with, I said we would be amiss without including you in our big day, or something like that. I said,
Kyle gets witty with it.
Yeah, witty, cheesy, all
the above. We've invited a couple celebrities, my favorite being Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
You went really, that was one that surprised me.
Oh, I love The Rock.
You opened it, our dearest Dwayne.
I did. I did open it.
I don't know why.
Dwayne. We also invited the Impractical Jokers.
Yes.
Because I think that'd be funny.
They would, funny.
I'd hope they'd play a prank.
See, that's where it might not be so funny.
I think it'd be funny. I also clearly invited the Queen, Taylor Swift. Did we invite anybody else that are celebrities?
Taylor's probably going to be free.
Because what?
Travis Kelce's playing like trash. Chiefs lost again, so they're going to be available here in the office.
She did. She one time went to a fan's bridal shower. I have high hopes.
Is it what is it? The Drake curse? The Drake effect that he has on sports teams. It's going to be the Taylor effect.
I hope not. Well, Taylor's in charge of the universe, so.
Well.
Honestly, Travis would be nothing without her.
Maybe she just wants Travis to have more free time because he's about to have a whole lot of free time.
Anyway, so we've been doing that wedding-wise. It's finalizing the final details. I know that everybody loves the wedding seasons that I do the best, so I'll probably do a wedding season post-wedding to kind of recap it all and really talk through it. But, Kyle's had a really easy ride this season. Your 2023 was, breezy.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Mine, I've been underground for 500 days.
I think I'm finally going to survive the car now. I think you're not going to kill me in my sleep over the car anymore. So.
That has nothing to do with the wedding. Now he's just starting to beef online.
You mentioned my 2023.
Oh, is that your highlight?
No, it's not my highlight. You said I had an easy 2023, right?
Yeah.
It's not been easy.
Kyle, would you like to tell the people what you've done?
Where do I start?
Tell the people what you've done.
I've done, I don't know, what are you talking about?
Kyle decided it was a good idea to go buy a car without telling me he was going to buy a new car.
I didn't hint at it as in keeping it a secret, but I talked about getting a new car with you for 2 weeks.
Yes, and he had been many a time to different dealerships to test drive.
And showed her the specific cars.
Yes.
I even took you once.
Yes,
and
every
you said I do not ever want to do this again.
Yeah, I don't really like test driving cars. It's kind of stupid. But anyways, he basically was regularly being it was like an activity now to him. It wasn't it's oh, I'm going golfing. Oh, I'm going test driving cars.
Fun.
That's where you were at. So he said he was going to test drive cars. So I assumed it was all of the other times where you were just going to test drive cars. He said he was going to the Tesla dealership. 2.5 hours go by. I call him.
That should have been your cue.
And I'm like, where are you? And he's like, I'm at the BMW dealership. And I was like, why? And he's like, I'm going to test drive some over here. And I said, okay. 3.5 hours later, he shows up and luckily Bree, my friend, was over here, or his neck would have been snapped. She's a cop, so she really kept me under control.
Yeah.
He pulls in with a new car. Didn't get to say goodbye to the Jeep. Bought it during Mercury retrograde. We are kind of in an astrology psychic little season. We've talked about this. We just talked last week. It's so ironic because last week's episode we discuss how you shouldn't be buying cars, big purchases during Mercury retrograde. He comes home with a new car during Mercury retrograde. How are other people supposed to take me seriously if my own husband doesn't take me seriously?
You didn't get the episode out fast enough. I didn't see it.
He knows how I feel about Mercury retrograde. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, in a new car.
Messy. So we're in a tiff. The car's beautiful. I don't have a problem with the car. I have a problem with him. I have a problem with him, not the car.
She likes me too.
Debatable.
No, you like me.
Debatable.
You love me.
What would be your biggest pain point this year? What has been your biggest struggle? Go ahead, let it out. It's for the people.
I don't know. Biggest pain point of the year. Biggest struggle. You mentioned golf. Golf is not going so swimmingly right now.
I feel like that's day by day for you. Some days you're like, I come home and you're like, I played so good, and then other days you're not. For background, you have to remember you're talking to people that don't know you. He started
golf this year.
Yes. He started his golf journey. He's full committed, so much so that his Christmas present, I don't know. He bought clubs off Facebook Market, didn't like those. We bought some new clubs off Facebook Market. For Christmas, every single present I feel like was golf or whiskey related. He got golf lessons for Christmas. We're going full set on the golf.
It was a great Christmas.
It's an expensive hobby. A real expensive hobby.
Can be. So can this thing, this dog.
The dog is the expensive hobby. Yeah. She's not a hobby. She's family. How dare you?
She looks look at this. That's awesome.
She's love. Remember, nobody can see her. You're talking. You're just talking to the abyss right now.
They heard the pat. They got the context.
Kyle's really big on the sound effects over here.
Adds context to the whole thing. You know what's happening.
So, golf has been the hobby of the year, so it's also your pain point?
I think so.
Any other pain points?
What else has been challenging?
I mean, definitely, like you said, with the customer service role has been an interesting shift.
Learning a new career field, like a whole new thing.
As much as wedding planning for me has been a pain point for sure, I think...
loved it. Tell me you haven't.
What do you mean?
You've loved it.
I don't need to do it again.
Well, you're not. Don't start looking around.
Well, a lot of girls, and this is a problem we have in the wedding industry, and I know my whole wedding team could vouch for that, but girls will get married, and then immediately after they're done getting married, they're like, I'm going to be a wedding planner. They think they're just made to be wedding planners after they planned a wedding.
That's a bad idea.
I cannot express enough how I never, ever want to plan anybody's wedding in my entire life. I'm going to do Bree's, I'm the maid of honor for one of my friends next year. I'm helping her, but she has a wedding planner. Would never plan a wedding.
I think the wedding industry is one of those that, and this isn't a bash or a jab at anyone in the wedding industry, but there's not.
Yeah,
if you don't know what you're looking for as someone who's getting wedding services done for you, you can get some very, very low hanging fruit. Like the barrier to entry into these, what separates a hairstylist from a wedding hairstylist? Yep. To somebody who doesn't know, there is no difference.
That's why it's so important, and we've talked about that a lot on this podcast, about vetting your vendors.
Just like you could go to Sport Clips and ask one of those ladies in there to do your hair on your wedding day. They're not going to say no.
Yeah.
They're going to say, yeah, I can cut hair, I can style hair. I'm a wedding stylist.
So you kind of have almost proven the fact of why wedding vendors charge more, why they're different, right. Because they quite literally, they're offering a service that's different.
But also, to my point, is to somebody who isn't one of those, to somebody who isn't a wedding photographer, a photographer sees that they're charging higher rates, and then they want the rate without the effort.
Yeah,
so if you talk to somebody, it's
exactly why I know
no tangible thing to separate the crowd.
Well, it's exactly why you and I have talked about it a lot, of why I'll do weddings every now and then, but I'm not trying to be a wedding photographer. It's a different breed. It's different work. There's a reason it's so much more money, and it seems ideal. I think something that I think about a lot, and like we've talked about budget-wise, is yes, I could go and be a wedding photographer and I could do 40 weddings a year and only work 40, like physically work 40 days out of the year and make a great income. Obviously, I'm going to be editing a lot of those spare days, but that gives you a lot of fucking days off. But the reality is, it's a different breed dealing with people, kind of like Kyle. I'm not a customer service girly. I really am not. And like dealing with brides is really difficult. The editing style and things that go into weddings is just different. It's a lot more tedious. You have to edit out a lot more things. I'd much rather.
Like as a wedding photographer, you have to herd cats.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it's also a long day.
Bridal party just wrangled up, and like you need to capture all those things.
Well, and your minimum for wedding photography is usually 6 hours, up to 10 hours to 12 hours. Wow. That's a long day. And I just am not, like, I'm tired after a 2-hour shoot. I'm like, can I go? I have a shoot tomorrow for Medical Man Cave, which I'm excited about. And I'm going to be talking about them a lot in January because I'm doing an episode with some people that work with Medical Man Cave. But it's one of those things where for them, it's a 2-hour shoot tomorrow. I'm going to come home and I'm going to be like, meh, I hate everything. And like, that's 2 hours. So I'm not bred for wedding photography. Like I said, I'll do every now and then I'll do a couple, but it has to be like the most low key bride. Shout out to like Sammy, who was one of my brides this year. She was fantastic. I had a hellish bride in April. You remember that?
She was fine. She was just a little.
Well, what? Well, what? She was messy. Put Blue's foot down. Are you getting a little tipsy tips?
No.
I hope you guys are watching on YouTube because I was literally waving Blue's foot in the camera and she's just allowing him to do it. That's enough. And that was that. Now we're done. She said, please stop. She hates Dad. Jokes. All jokes. Blue loves Kyle.
She sleeps on my side of the bed every night.
Because she doesn't want to take up my space. But who does she ask? This is a great one. Fun fact, Blue, Kyle's definitely the authority figure in our house for Blue. Blue listens to Kyle. But I will say, every night when she wants to get into bed, she walks all the way around because her bed's on Kyle's side. She'll walk all the way around. She'll wake me up to ask permission to get into bed. Even if Kyle says, come up, she won't. She'll wait until I say come up. And then she'll come up and then she goes to Kyle's side to sleep. And I find that funny. What's the logic there?
I don't know. Either you've scared her at one point from getting into the bed, or she thinks that I might tell her no, and she knows that you won't.
There's no way I've scared her because when you were in Iraq, she slept with me every night and she started in the bed. So
that's why I think that maybe she knows that you won't say no, and she doesn't know that I won't say no.
But you always say come up. I hear you every night.
I've told her I kick her out of the bed though.
But every night you usually wake up first and you're like, come up. And then I have to roll over and wake up and tell her to get up. I would rather
get her in the bed and asleep at like 11 or 12 instead of 3.
Yeah, it's like clockwork. She starts in her own bed. I want to know if other dog owners have this problem. I feel like we're already ready for infants because we get woken up every night like clockwork at around 1 to 2-ish.
I haven't had a full night's sleep in
years.
2 years.
2 years. But honestly, it doesn't bother me anymore. It's just like part of the routine. Like, she wakes you up, she gets in bed, you go back to bed.
Part of the routine?
Just part of the routine.
But I would love a full night's sleep.
For those that aren't watching, we're literally just both, like, staring at her lovingly, like 2 dog parents would. Just gazing.
The look on my face is loving. It's more confused.
No, she looks real cute right now.
Trying to figure out what she's doing.
So anyways, pain points of the year. We're getting very sidetracked, and this is why we don't film and drink.
Blue, pain point of the year.
Blue's a pain point. Blue's not a pain point.
She ate a whole cake the other week. A whole cake.
Oh, do we want to recap Blue's year? Blue ate a whole cake.
I think we should just recap it on things that she's eaten.
That's what I was going to say. She's eaten a whole cake. Like a whole cake.
And this was a 3-layered cake. Like a 3-tiered
Actually,
cake.
I called out Steph earlier, and Steph listens. She quite literally ate my bridal era cake. The whole thing.
I had one piece of that
one piece.
Cake.
The cake was gone. I didn't have the heart to tell you guys in the group chat, but you know now. She ate my entire poke bowl.
A whole poke bowl.
Like a whole poke bowl. She is remember the time she ate shells outside because there was bacon grease on them?
Yeah, I made the mistake of I poured some bacon grease outside in the backyard, and I didn't think anything about it. And Blue comes in, like nothing happens that day. It was morning, it was breakfast. I poured the bacon grease out. She comes in the house, goes to lay down at night, and starts choking, throws up, and it's just a bunch of shells.
Yeah, we live with the real life Marley and me, and I feel like only the millennials are going to get that reference. But
What else does she eat?
she eats everything, and
Remember
I don't know
that
how she
time
doesn't die.
She ate a whole seasoning tub of
Yes.
butter salt.
It was butter salt. She ate the whole butter salt seasoning packet. She's eaten
It wasn't
a
a
full
packet.
bag.
It was like a shaker.
Yeah, it was a shaker. She's eaten a whole bag of popcorn before. You can't leave anything out.
She ate a whole, like a cooking-sized chocolate bar.
Yes, she ate a whole chocolate bar.
Thought that was going to do her in.
I really thought she was going to die.
She didn't.
I didn't sleep that night.
She took that one in pace. It didn't mess up her bowels. It didn't mess up like nothing. She didn't act like she was upset at all.
She eats human food and she's fine. She eats some grass, throw up everywhere. I don't get it. I don't get it.
No. There's a flower or something that buds out there that she eats, and that makes her throw up. She takes grass like a champ most of the time. But there's those little white buds in the backyard.
Yeah. Don't forget about the time, though. Do you remember when I had a coffee cup and I came home and I found the coffee cup and it was licked clean empty, but I couldn't find the lid, and then I found the lid under the couch like 4 weeks later?
You remember the time we went to a coffee shop with Blue in the back seat, and we had a coffee in the middle, and I would bet on how long it would take for her to drink the coffee, and as soon as I closed my door and then you closed yours, and she bolts to the front for the coffee and sucked it dry before we opened the door.
It's the fact that, so I want to go back to the coffee cup in the house, that it was like a mystery where the lid went. I also need to tell you guys, we have a white carpet, like we have white couches, white furniture, and there was not a drop anywhere. And all I can visualize, we have a dog camera, but it's a live one, so you can't like go back and look at things. But I would kill for recording of that, because that means she gently pulled it off the counter, pulled it onto the hardware. There was not a drop anywhere.
Got skills.
She's very talented.
Water bottles for a living.
I feel like a lot of dogs do that, though. That's not like...
It's the first dog I've ever seen do that.
If you're drinking a water bottle, she'll take it from your hand if it's empty. Well, she's never tried to take a full one from you.
Yeah, if it's empty.
If it's empty, if you have a water bottle in your hand, she'll take it from your hand. She'll take it off to a corner. She'll pull the top off. She'll pull the plastic piece off. And at first I got really nervous when she started doing that, because I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to accidentally swallow the plastic. Yeah. She doesn't. She spits it right back out. And then she's like really excited to show you, look, Mom, I opened the water bottle. You can put them as tight as you want to. She'll go ham on them.
Even the smart water bottles with like the thick caps.
Yep, she can get them.
Takes a little longer, but she pops them right off.
Basically, I don't know what she is, but she's not a dog. She's not a dog.
Yeah, she's something.
She's a creature that we love very much, and she'll be at the wedding.
Yeah.
She's going to walk down the aisle and see her dad at the end. But yeah, no, Blue is definitely a pain point and a high point all in one.
Lots of mixed feelings there.
You basically cannot leave the house without checking to make sure there's no trash out and there's no food on counters.
Edible trash, like packaging of bacon, that's edible.
She'll take it. She'll put her whole head through the garbage. I'm just kind of used to it now.
She doesn't even like eggs. They don't stand a chance either. You crack eggs in the carton or something like that, and it's in the trash.
She'll pull them out.
She's getting those.
She's got to check. She's got to make sure it's something she doesn't want. So she's out of control. What other pain points do we have this year?
Maybe go get a piano. It weighs like 600 pounds. That was a pain point.
I still got to get that tuned. It's beautiful, though. We did get a piano for the house. It's beautiful. It's Tampa, Miami originally made. Stand-up piano, like open face, so you can see the keys. Absolutely beautiful wood keys. I would like to get it tuned and like maybe the keys resurfaced, because I keep getting splinters when I touch the keys or try to play anything. I mean, yes, but I liked the original wood. I thought it was cool, but long-term playing-wise, it's not the move. I feel like wedding planning was kind of difficult on us with fighting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've done a lot of wedding stuff this year, too.
Yeah. I think that we learned a new way to communicate this year that I wasn't expecting to learn.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't feel
uh,
I don't feel like before, like, we had challenges before we got engaged and before we started this year, but we hadn't really ever had to, like, face and talk out anything. I feel like this year we did a lot of, like, having to talk things out. What does mean?
It means okay.
What does that mean?
It means okay. Talking it out.
No, I wouldn't say wedding planning is for the lighthearted couples. If it's been hunky-dory and you've never had a problem.
That's all on a sliding scale. You can do it with absolutely no problems. Have a small wedding.
Have small wedding.
Have a small wedding.
That's where, so you think that a lot of, like, the altercations stem from the bigger size?
Of course, because there's just so much more to do, so much more to think through and plan and all
yeah, but if you think about it from that perspective, when we went to Arches, we still thought about that too. That was small.
Because it was a small crowd, but that wasn't a small feat. Both of us getting the free time to drive, to put it together, to get the other person out there, to get to the top, to have places to stay, to, like, there were so many different little variables going on. So
it's not the size of the wedding, it's the size of the
complexity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if we wanted to, the wedding, our marriage, like getting our marriage license, we went to the courthouse. We had a photographer there. That was cool. That was so easy.
Shout out to Aaron. We love Aaron.
Very
with
good
all our
time.
hearts.
Great photos too.
Aaron always does a great job. Aaron did our engagement pictures. He did our courthouse wedding. We love Aaron. But, okay.
Marriage license getting, not courthouse wedding.
You're right. It's not a courthouse wedding. My mom will kill me if she listens to this.
We couldn't get married if we wanted to because we hadn't taken the premarital course that the state requires for us to get a wedding license, our marriage license on site.
Oh, do we still need to take that?
No, because we waited 3 days.
Ah. Love that.
We just need to get the signatures and mail it in.
So, if you were to start 2024 over, or I guess, or 2023, and if you were to replan all of this, would you have changed anything? How would you have operated this situation?
Well,
you can't be silent. We're on a podcast.
I know. I'm confused by the question because are you asking me if I would do a small wedding over a big wedding?
Yeah, would you change how we're doing the wedding?
Small wedding's fine with me.
So, are you saying that you wouldn't change anything because you were leaving up the decision up to me anyways?
Yeah. That's what happened in the first place. And that would happen in the second place.
Second place, you wouldn't advocate more for what you wanted?
I advocated enough for myself. That's how much I cared. I advocated as much as I cared. You wanted large, you got large. You wanted small, cool, small.
So your opinion hasn't changed?
My opinion hasn't changed, no.
Okay. I feel like I feel like I really wanted to get married here because I had the connections here. I wanted to use my vendors that I loved. I was excited about that. I was really excited as somebody that works in the wedding industry to finally get to pay it forward to the vendors I loved. In hindsight, I would stop caring about that aspect of feeling like I need to take care of others. And if I were to do it over, I would have, and I feel like you would have hated this too, so like for you this was still a lose-lose. I would have picked a destination that we really would want to go, and I would have planned a more small ceremony there and hoped that less people came.
Why would that be a lose-lose to me?
Because you also hate the travel aspect. You fought me every tooth and nail on the honeymoon.
I don't hate the travel aspect. I hate that complex travel aspect. You're trying to get me on a 24-hour flight.
Do we want to talk about the honeymoon now? This is just a roast podcast episode of watch a couple roast each other.
Yeah.
No, I think wedding-wise, I don't know. I think I would have picked somewhere. I feel like Europe is overdone with like the Italy and France thing. It's really trendy right now, and that's the thing. But I would have picked somewhere super cool
But again, it's like it's like the wedding thing. You wouldn't have tried to pay it forward and done for others, or not trying to do for others or compete with others or anything like that. I haven't been to those places for leisure, so
Yeah.
those are still wide open to me.
Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely think that I had this expectation of having a wedding in Florida, and technically neither of our families live here. I really thought that less people would come because it is a destination, quote unquote, wedding. And yet we've had very few people decline coming. And I think that's what I wasn't prepared for.
It's a wedding. It's not brunch, you know?
I just really thought people would say no.
When do we get a commercial break?
He's out of scotch, folks.
Not scotch.
Whiskey.
Get it? Right.
Whiskey.
Bourbon whiskey.
Go ahead and grab yourself another glass, and I'll talk to them about the honeymoon.
Aha!
I'm going to roast you while you're gone.
I can still hear you.
So basically, with the honeymoon situation, I really wanted to go to New Zealand specifically and see the lupin. I think I'm saying that right, but it's like the lupin flower that blooms. It's been on my bucket list for a very long time. Now, unfortunately, their blooming season is November, December, and we're getting married in January, as you guys know. So I just didn't feel like it made sense to do a honeymoon a year later. At that point, it's like, that's an anniversary. And we weren't going to go on our honeymoon before the wedding. So I was like, well, what's another option that's kind of like the same vibe over there maybe? And so I started talking about Australia. Kyle's big like no-go zone on the honeymoon was to make sure that wherever we went on a honeymoon was new to both of us. And I used to live in Australia, for those of you that don't know. So he was like, I don't really like the idea of Australia because you've been there. But somewhere I never got to visit while I lived there was Tasmania. And Tasmania has been really high on my list. It's very quiet, it's very sleepy, but very like nature and beautiful aesthetic. I'm really excited about it. And so I kind of pitched Tasmania to Kyle, and he said yes. And then he started thinking about the flight, and then he got cranky.
Well, I said yes before I knew it. It was 24 hours of flight time. And
how, like, what did you think the flight time was going to be?
I don't know. Faster?
Kyle's
flying, not sailing.
Kyle's only been out of the country to go to Iraq and Jordan. So he's never been out of the country.
You say those two countries very specifically.
What do you mean specifically? They are
Just
specific.
Middle East.
Iraq and Jordan. So he's only been to those two places. So I don't know. I feel like if we go big now, you'll only have like better expectations for everything else. You know? Because we're going to take him places. Baby's going places.
Apparently Europe's too overdone for me to go. Can't just go to Spain and relax.
I've lived in Spain.
I lived in Spain.
Sounds like you haven't relaxed in Spain.
I'm getting roasted.
Just wait till I get to the bottom of that.
Are you slightly excited for Tasmania at all?
Yeah, I'm excited. I would like to point out that even though I said no Australia, you were like, what is the very next closest body of land that I could go to?
Okay,
where
here's
they
the
still
thing.
do the exact same thing. It's even a part of that country, sort of, a little bit. Basically, Australia still. It's just a little bit. It's like Puerto Rico and the U.S. It's like
That's a good comparison. That's actually a really good geographical comparison.
I'm pretty good.
Tasmania is one of the most southern places that you can get to Antarctica, and we will see penguins.
Trivia break. Who's the president of Puerto Rico?
Joe Biden! Sorry. That was aggressive.
That was a genuine question that she asked before she went to Puerto Rico.
They already know. It's been on the podcast.
Well, I would like to just bring that back up. Fun fact.
I didn't actually do that. Somebody else we know did that. But we're not going to name names
Well, you didn't
here.
know, so.
I didn't know the answer, but I didn't ask the question.
That's crazy. It's also like.
I know not to ask dumb questions.
It's also like not. But is. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, it is. It quite literally is Joe Biden. Woo. Anyways, Tasmania. No, I'm excited for it. You're right. I did pick like the farthest away we could go. But for me, I've always I've always had this stigma with honeymoons, and I'm wondering if anybody else out there has. So if you relate to this, please message me, because I got to know if I'm like the only one solo out here. But with honeymoons, it's like that's once in a lifetime trip. It's supposed to be a once in a lifetime trip that you wouldn't take otherwise. It's pre-kids. You wouldn't take kids there, things like that.
So she picked the next closest place that she lived in, to where she lived in college.
No, I don't think that we'd ever go to Tasmania again.
Well,
I think that like that's a honeymoon.
Could have done like Bali, Thailand.
I'm going to Bali this year, so that's not a like.
Just devalue our honeymoon, why don't you?
No, but you're saying like Bali is somewhere. Bali is a popular one. That's true. But Bali, I've already been. A, I've already been to Bali. B, it's a huge girls trip destination, and as somebody that runs girls trips, like I was always going to go to Bali.
Oh, buzz off.
Oh, buzz off. He's getting sassy. He is 2 glasses in now. He's getting sassy.
I'm like 4 ounces in.
So that's our honeymoon. As much as Kyle's acting like he's not excited, he's going to be so excited once he's there.
I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a good time.
I think it's going to be really nostalgic of our how we met in van lifey vibes, because it's very cool terrain. It's new places.
We just watched a movie that took place in Australia.
Which one?
Don't
something.
Say no.
Anyone but me or something
anyone
like.
But me.
I don't know. Whatever one was Sydney Sweeney. Kyle's girl crush. Even though my brother sat there after the movie and talked shit about how she's a terrible actress and not even that pretty for like an hour and a half.
I had her back.
You did not have her back. Debatable. What are your men's girl crushes? I want to know, because Kyle's is Sydney Sweeney.
Mine is Gabi.
Shit.
Ooh.
Sydney Sweeney is hot though, so like I condone that one. That's a good one.
I've got good taste.
You do have good taste, obviously. And, what are you looking forward to in 2024?
New growth. Obviously kicking it off with the wedding.
Yes.
I'm really excited about the wedding.
I feel like if we start on a high note, we have nowhere to go but up. Like, keep going up, you know?
Yeah.
Kyle got distracted because Blue threw her feet up in the air. I'm so sorry to anybody that's listening to this episode. We just keep training off to our dog. Anyways. So you think lots of growth?
Gasparilla?
Let me tell you this. If you want to talk honeymoon drama, I wanted to go on our honeymoon right after the wedding, like most couples do. And Kyle was like, no, we can't miss Gasparilla. So we've pushed our honeymoon 2 months so this bitch can go to Gasparilla.
She says it like that, but how the conversation actually went was... Also, it's very important for you to know that we're doing 2 weeks. So...
A week and a half. We're not doing 2 weeks.
Now, at the time of that conversation, we were doing 2 weeks. It was a matter of days, and we were talking like 1 or 2 days. Left or right, we were going to get it, or we were going to be able to be here or miss it. And I said, well, if it's no difference, it would be cool, and I would like to go to Gasparilla this year.
He didn't get to go last year, or this year.
Yeah, this past Gasparilla. So I was like, if we can be at Gasparilla, that would be nice. I would like to do that. And somehow it's been spun into fuck the honeymoon.
He prioritized Gasparilla.
We're gonna do Gasparilla.
He prioritized. That's okay. We better do something epic for Gasparilla. Friends, tap in. Everybody send me a message. What are we doing for Gasparilla?
Tap in?
Tap in.
Don't say that.
Tap in.
I've never heard you say that. Where'd that come from?
I don't know. It flew out. So Gasparilla. That's why we're not going.
Gasparilla.
Kyle's looking forward to Gasparilla.
That's why well, that's sequence of events. It's like the same month.
Okay. Oh, let's do it. January wedding Gasparilla. What are you excited about for February?
Your birth month.
Ooh, ooh. We do have, I saw that. We do have a really great couples massage in February.
Valentine's Day couples massage.
Here's a moment to brag about Kyle, because Kyle's not normally great with gifts. Love you.
Oh, I'm fantastic.
Love you. He's not normally great with gifts, but this year for Christmas, he did actually really great. I'm going to do a birthday trip up in New York. As you guys all know, my maid of honor and best friend lives in New York, and I go to visit her quite often, but I wanted to do a birthday celebration with her this year because we're both February babies. So I'm going up, we're doing a spa day, and then Kyle got us Broadway tickets for Christmas.
I did. and they were delivered over email, and I could put in to where it was delivered at a certain time and a certain day. So I did at 9 a.m. on Christmas morning.
It was cute.
So I didn't even have the email confirming, because she would have found that too, because
I don't go through your email.
I just clanked it.
I did on my chair.
Cut you off. You're done.
You're done.
You're done.
You're done. Anyway.
But yeah, she got an email at 9 a.m. on Christmas morning with her open Broadway tickets. So you can go see whatever, whenever.
I'm excited. Jordan and I are going to pick something here soon. But that's our February. March, honeymoon.
Honeymoon.
April, I think I have a girls' trip that I'll be doing for the Great American Solar, which is the solar eclipse that's going to happen, which I'm excited about. I think that's going to be super cool. Anything for you in April?
I think so. Sounds like alone time with Blue.
Alone time with Blue. I mean, that'll only be a weekend, so nothing crazy. May, I am going on a girls' trip to Copenhagen that I'm running, and then I'm seeing Taylor Swift in Sweden. And then I roll back, and we're taking off together for my mom's 60th birthday. That's up in the air. It's all over the place. One day it's like we're going to Montana. The next day we're going to Costa Rica. And then the next day, I think our current one that we're on is we have a boat charter through the British Islands. I don't know. My dad's trying to go all out, but won't make a decision. So we'll see how that plays
I hope
out.
this isn't a surprise.
What?
Your mom's?
No, my mom knows.
Okay.
My mom knows. They've talked about it because, like, it's what does she want? I think that's how Montana got vetoed.
Gotcha.
Because, like, my dad was full send Montana, and then all of a sudden, we're doing a British Islands boat tour, and I was like, that's very opposite from Montana.
Gotcha.
She doesn't really listen anymore. She used to listen more. Her support dwindles. Love you, Toby. Do you have anything for May?
No, I don't really plan that far in advance.
Okay.
So these next months you're about to list off, don't even look over here.
June, July, August. June, July, I think I have some things cooking, but I haven't announced them. August, I have Bali. September, nothing. October, I'll have Austin, Texas, which is a girls' trip. And Bali was a girls' trip as well. So all of these you're able to sign up for. If you're interested, DM me on Instagram. I can put you on my wait list for it. And then October, I'll have my maid of honor duties kick in, and I've got Bree's bachelorette. November, we've got Bree's wedding. And then December will be Christmas.
Do you have a day for Bree's bachelorette?
We have not picked it yet. It's going to be like end of October, I believe. Why?
There's nothing else happening in October.
Your birthday.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's not going to be on your birthday weekend.
You missed my birthday again last year.
No, let's back it up. This year, 2023, I asked Kyle, I sent all of like the girls that were coming on my bachelorette dates, and everybody was really committed to the idea. We left on the 6th, right? And then we came back on like the 15th. So I asked Kyle, because his birthday is that weekend, I was like, is it okay? Yes.
For everybody who wants to know.
Yeah, send him a birthday gift. I asked him, I was like, is it okay if I go through your birthday? And you said it was fine.
How am I going to say no? I wouldn't say no.
I treated you great for your birthday.
I got a golf trip starting the 5th of February. I'm going to be gone for like 3 days.
Honestly, you can get me back. You have one birthday you get to get me back on.
Nice.
You have one birthday you get to get me back on. But you've missed my birthday before. So let's not get all heated.
For work, not for
my bachelorette trip is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Okay? That was a bad spouse moment of me. I'm sorry. I'll regret it for the rest of my days.
I won't let you forget. That's okay.
I know you're never going to let me forget. November we'll have Bree's wedding. We'll have Wellesley's first birthday.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be a big one.
There's actually going to be a lot of first birthdays this year.
Well, it'll be Wellesley's first birthday. We don't know about Livia yet.
Yeah.
Livia, our friends Britt and Anton.
Could be.
I think she's going to be December. I'm hoping for December.
It's right around the corner. Whatever day it is, it's right here.
I mean, they're due the 5th of January. That's so close to our wedding, so Kyle and I are like, fingers crossed that it's going to be this week.
So close to now.
I talked to Britt today, and airs Thursday, but I talked to Britt today, and her next doctor appointment is Thursday. And remember, with Rachel and Wellesley, she went in for her last doctor's appointment, and they went, "Buck it up, we're going to induce you." So I wonder if Britt will be induced tomorrow. Kyle just popped the cork, hoping you guys would hear it.
That was pretty loud.
We're in our baby year. Other people have engagement years. Other people have wedding years. We're in our baby year.
We are in our dink year.
Yes, we are in our dink year.
We're dinks.
We're dinks. What is it? It's like, we're dinks. We don't have to buy diapers. We're dinks.
We're dinks. We don't have a kid. We have a horse.
Yes, correct.
Who eats like another human being. So, might as well have a child.
She's actually not that bad. You blow her out of proportion.
She eats as much as I do.
Nah. No, she doesn't.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't.
Of course she does.
So, in 2024...
We split ham sandwiches today.
In 2024, you're looking forward to wedding and just growing business-wise, financially, things like that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, that's your 2024.
2024.
Let's get back to it because people have questions for you.
Yeah, we're at 50 minutes too. So.
Are you ready to talk about the questions?
Sure. Yeah, what are the questions?
Okay. Questions for Kyle.
A lot of words.
What's your least favorite thing about Tampa? That's what the crowd wants to know.
275.
Oh, that was really fast and really specific.
Really specific.
I want to preface, I haven't shown him these yet. That was right off. You knew. You knew.
I don't
really?
know.
It's 275 or is it I-4? Because I-4 is also shady.
I don't go on I-4 much. I don't have anything over there that I like. I
the I-4 exit to get to Ybor, you do it every day, and it's
most of the time I take the
Take Nebraska.
No, what's the little exit off of it? Oh my goodness, Floribraska.
Oh.
Exit, and I just zip around in there. But yeah, that anything I-4, any interstate is just it's kind of the worst thing. Tampa doesn't really. I like most things about Tampa. People seem to be all okay, all right. Everything else is fine.
You good with staying here for a while?
Summer's hot. I like being able to wear a sleeve and pants.
You've been doing a lot of that lately.
Yeah. It's January, or just December.
Yeah.
It's as cold as it's probably going to get, so trying to soak it up.
Okay, next question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you value the most in your relationship? Oh, this one stumped him. Don't worry.
Value the most, not just value.
Okay.
So, our loyalty to each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even when I scream at you, you're like, loyal bitch.
I forbid I say those words.
Nah. In the right context, it's funny. Does being on camera annoy or bother you?
It's fine. At first, it was a little weird.
You never seem to like have a hiccup into getting into it.
Oh, I dove right in.
Yeah.
It's not that it wasn't weird.
Now, does it feel natural?
I know it's coming. Like if we go out to eat somewhere nice, I know my food's about to be videoed.
I don't video. I'm not a foodie girl.
Yeah, but like a little snippet of our date, you get the food. You know, things like that. I know when it's coming. I know what to expect. So like, there's no curveballs or anything.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a bit like.
Give me an example. Here.
You
tell them the example. I
don't
want
to say it's a bit extra. Well, I'm talking to you.
Hold on. Keep talking to the camera.
I'll talk louder.
Okay, keep going.
Sometimes it's a little much.
Like what parts?
Like, our Sprouts trip the other day.
Yeah.
That was just extra creative and extra, like, that was a very out of our way trip, and
but that's different to me because that's one of those things where it's like that was paid. Like, we're going to make money. First, hey, we're at date night. I'm going to take a little video just for my own content.
And that's why I wanted to make sure you know that's a different scenario to me than like a date night video here or there.
You usually do a really good job with helping with paid content, though.
Oh, I'm very creative. I'm brilliant.
Yeah.
The mastermind behind the scenes.
So it's more so like when we actually have to put effort into it.
All that was sarcastic for those of you just listening. I was making a face.
Regardless, do you feel like then it's more like where the strain is on you is when we have to do paid content versus like naturally like me just
I'm not even
going to
say it was a strain. Like I'm not saying it's a strain.
Okay.
There's just a difference.
You can feel the pressure in it.
You snap us before we go out or something, that's 2 seconds. It's natural. I'm gonna hug you and love on you like that anyway before we go out the door. So
You heard it here, folks. When he's loving up on me on our outfit of the day videos, he means it.
She's pretty much just videoing me hugging her before we leave anyway. So
Cutie.
that's how that started.
Cutie babe. No, I mean, yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, I know it's more difficult, but that's obviously why we're getting paid. It's not the natural content. It's more
Makes sense. No,
we have to put the work in.
I'm not saying that it should stop or anything like that. It is just different and it is more effort.
Yeah. Like, definitely the toothbrush one we did a couple weeks ago.
I
was struggling.
There was a lot.
Struggling.
For the crowd here, did you know that a toothbrush is a medical device?
And that was more, for me, the strain for me was a lot of the lingo that I had to put into that. Like,
because it's a medical device.
Yeah.
Who knew?
I didn't know.
Toothbrush.
But,
You're right. Why aren't Q-tips medical devices?
They probably are.
No way.
Maybe.
A cotton ball.
Well, technically, you're not supposed to use them in your ears, so they're probably not a medical device.
Schmeckically. Like, who doesn't put a Q-tip in their ear? Everybody's done it once in their life. I don't care
for sure.
Everybody out there who just cringed just cringed because you put a Q-tip in your ear. You know what it's like. Get off of it.
So to answer everybody's questions, is Kyle awkward on camera? Clearly not. He's yelling at you guys right now on YouTube.
You're not safe either.
It's the dog. It's the dog for me. Okay, that was a good one. I think that was a good question.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Next.
Do you want kids?
Yes.
That was easy.
Got names picked out.
You don't like some of my names.
Some of your names are a little out there.
I don't think they're that out there.
Yeah, you do.
I just really wanted to give one of our kids. This is the most I'm going to give because I will not reveal my baby names. I'm not going to.
Don't even go there because it's going to give it away.
No, I was saying I really like the middle name of Blue, and he's like, we're not naming our kid after a dog. And I'm like, you're not. It's an honor. She looked at me crazy. She's like, Mom, it's late. I want to eat. Anyways, I like the middle name of Blue for a boy, and it goes really well with the first name I have picked. And Kyle was like, nah. And I think that you're wrong.
It's maybe I'll feel different when the time comes. But right now, this demon.
She's a cutie bee.
Yeah. I don't know. It could work.
I think that as much as she's a girl and her name is a color, I think it's kind of trendy. It's kind of unique. It's not like we're naming our kid Apple, like fucking, what's her name? The one we just watched in Shallow Hal. Gwyneth Paltrow. She's got a kid named Apple.
Why?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I think we have good baby names picked out. Mm-hmm. Question of my own. How many kids do you want? We've talked about this. But
3.
like 3?
3.
Are you good with 3?
Yeah.
Would you be okay with 4?
Sure.
Are you okay with 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so like the 2 to 4 range. Mm-hmm. Where do you cap out? 5?
The announcement of the 4th.
That's right. You're done. Vasectomy.
Yeah, she agrees.
Blue went, kids? We're doing kids? Blue's not a kid, girly. Blue's not meant for children.
She's not meant to share the spotlight.
Attention. Yeah, she loves that she's the baby.
Yeah.
But she is an older girly. That's why I say, like, middle name of Blue would be honorary. Because honestly, I don't think she'll be around by the time we have kids.
How dare you say that?
I really wish she'd live forever, but I'm a realist. Unfortunately.
Oh, baby.
Okay, so you said 4 to 3. 3 to 4.
2 to 4.
2 to 4. 2 to 4. What do you think girls and boys wise you're going to have? If you were to blind guess the order, what's the order? Go to 4.
I'd like symmetry. I would like it to be boy, boy, girl, girl.
You want boy first?
Because I know what it's like being a younger brother.
Okay.
A sport-involved younger brother.
Okay.
Small town Alabama, football was our sport, and I played varsity, or I was up on varsity team at the end of my 8th grade year. So that meant my older sister's classmates were juniors.
Okay.
So when I was a freshman, my sister's classmates were seniors. My sister was a senior. So, every day in the hallway, it's whatever. I'm the younger brother. It's cool. It's all funny. Football practice, totally different story. I'm a freshman out there, just getting hammered by these seniors. So it's like, as a younger brother, I'm having to.
I get that. I'd have to
get 4-year difference.
I'd have to get with my brother and see his feelings on it because I'm an older sister as well.
I think if I wasn't if I wasn't involved in football, it wouldn't have been a big deal. It wouldn't have been a deal at all. And it wasn't like it was a big deal. It was just a little bit harder.
Valid. I think that I like that you want the symmetry.
I wouldn't mind however it happens. It could be girl, girl, boy, boy. It could be boy, girl, boy, girl, girl, boy, boy, girl, girl, boy. Whatever mix.
Okay. We haven't talked about this on the podcast at all, or I haven't talked about this at all on the podcast, but I feel like if we got to 4, it's because we adopted. Like, I think I want to adopt a child. I think that's pretty high on my agenda.
Yeah, in that case, I don't believe, like, situation's probably going to be the biggest driver in that one.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like, what child's in need, how we've connected with them.
Yeah.
I won't lie, and I hate to say it because, like, life is so weird and life changes, but I do have, like, as a type A person, a plan for my life. And since I was little, I always visualized that, like, my adopted kid would be a boy, to be honest. Like, that's just what I expected. But, so that would put the boy at the last because I won't adopt a kid until the end. But I do think, we got Blue's a mover. She's readjusting. Oh, she's sitting on Dad's lap. You can kind of see her in the corner. No, not really. But I do think girls are coming first.
I'm fine with that.
I also wouldn't be surprised if you ended up with 3 girls and we adopted a boy. Kyle's meant to be a girl dad. I think I don't know, am I a girl mom or a boy mom?
You're a girl mom.
I'm a girl mom?
Yeah.
That's so funny because I have a lot of friends right now that I look at them and I'm like, you're a boy mom. But, like, Bree's a boy mom. I think Jalen's a boy mom. Drew's a boy mom. She is a boy mom. But, like, it made sense. We all knew because I did her gender reveal. I was like, it's going to be a boy. She sends me the blue cake piece, and I was like, duh. I was excited for that, though, because we've had a lot of girly pops coming through. But I don't know. I'm curious to see how that ends up. That's a minute away, but it'll be interesting to see that.
It's good time. What other questions?
You've got one more question. We're over an hour. There's no time limit on this podcast, Kyle.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about Gabi?
Do I have one?
Roasted.
My favorite thing about Gabi. The creativity that she has. No 2 days have been the same. In a good way.
Okay.
We haven't had a day like today in a while. Ever.
I mean, which part?
Yeah, it's fair, right? That statement's fair.
Okay. I think that also is really attributed to our careers, though. We're not
creative.
We're not
career path.
We're also not people that punch a 9 to 5 clock, so we're never going to work, coming home to each other, cooking dinner. It's do we or do we not every night sit down and go, what are you doing tomorrow? Because we have to figure out what our plan is for the next day.
Yeah.
Other people don't do that. Other people quite literally like, I know on Tuesday I go to work, you go to work, we come home, we cook each other dinner, we watch our show, we go to bed. We don't do that because it's so different.
I was asking, Anton and I were having this conversation the other day, but like, how do you keep up with it? And he suggested that, he shared that they have a calendar on the fridge. Write in little expos, important stuff. And I was like, that's brilliant. So I think we should do that.
I mean, I do have a calendar. Would you like me to share it with you?
No, I don't want your Google Calendar. I don't want that. I'm not going to check that. But if it's on the fridge, I'll check that.
So then I have to write it on the fridge and on my Google Calendar.
I don't understand the Google calendars, Outlook calendars. I don't get that.
I love a calendar. My favorite thing ever is that Jalen last week, we were like, let's make a plan for this. And she just sent me a calendar invite.
That's wild.
I love it. Type A people are my people.
Is that type A or is that just...
No, it's type A. It's a type A thing. The only people that do it to me are they're my friends that are like very type A. My Capricorn friends love to do that. Rachel's obviously in Babyland, but pre-Babyland, Rachel is like the queen of like, okay, so this is on the calendar. She sends me like an update a day out, a week out, an hour out. Like, I'll get a text and it's like, don't forget our date next week. Don't forget our date next hour. Don't forget our date. It's in 10 minutes. I love it. I fucking love it.
I'm really on the kick of, and your uncle said this the other day at his house, he likes doing business in 1995, and I really like that.
1995?
Yeah, like...
The year?
Yeah.
He likes to do business in the year 1995?
Yeah. Like it's the year
You were born that year.
Yeah. But, I mean, I like it. I like that idea.
What does that mean?
It means very primitive. Cards are a thing. Word of mouth is a thing. Meeting in person is a thing. Calls are a thing.
You heard it here, folks. Opposites attract. I refuse to carry a card. Refuse.
The most successful people that are our clients, they work like that.
Well, they made their wealth in 1995.
I got a call. So bam, phone call.
They made their wealth in 1995. We're operating in a new system. Things are changing. Things are different. Mm-hmm. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's fair.
We'll see how it goes. We got big plans for next year.
Big plans.
This year, I feel like we need to end it on a high note. Like you said, sandwich.
Sandwich.
What is our high note?
Brag.
What's your brag?
We survived. We're here.
We're alive.
Skull.
Cheers to sound effect.
What's yours?
Oh, I have to have one too. I thought we were on a
You're not just
brag.
you're not just the questionnaire.
I'm literally the host of the show.
That doesn't matter.
That is literally
that
my
means
job.
Nothing.
My job is host.
Right now? No.
Kyle's job is
Co-host.
Co-host. Yeah, if you were a Ken, your job is co-host.
That's right. That's right. So that makes you also co-host. So what was your highlight?
Did he just commandeer my show? Did you just commandeer my show?
Look at me. I am the captain now. Look at me.
Most people don't watch this podcast.
That is a movie quote.
What movie?
How dare you?
I'm asking you, do you know?
How dare you?
What is it?
We're watching it tonight.
What
time is it?
What?
It's 8. Perfect.
What is it? What movie is it?
Captain...
He doesn't know the name, and that's
Phillips.
fine. That's not correct.
Well, Google's about to tell me what it is.
I just called him out, and I think on that note, I would like to end there, where I've won. And that's marriage. Cheers to 2024. I hope you guys have a fantastic New Year's. We will be
Captain back. Phillips. I'm right.
We will be back on... We will not actually
I will.
Back.
I'm going to be on the next episode.
He's not going to be on the next episode.
This is a great time.
He wishes he has my job. I will be back January... What's Thursday next week? Is that the 4th? 3rd? I will be back January something because we will have an episode. Calendar. We will have an episode to chat about. We are doing the 4th. The 4th. It's all health wellness, starting off the new year right. We're going to have chats. It's going to be fantastic. And then don't forget, February will be a break before we hop right back in March. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for such an incredible year. I know it's been weird, ups and downs, transitions. It all of a sudden became just me. We've had some incredible guests. Kyle is literally texting on the podcast right now instead of being a part of the podcast.
Wedding planning.
He's wedding planning. But no, thank you, baby, for coming on.
I had a great time. Blue and I, we've had a wonderful time sitting over here, snuggling.
It's just snuggle bugs, 2 snuggle bugs and a rug. But yes, definitely DM me anything you're looking forward to in the next couple of years. Blue is about to lose her mind because she hasn't been fed. So we are going to go feed our dog because we do not animal abuse. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Have a nice one, guys.
Have a great time.
Happy New Year.
Bye. Bye.